Buddha got lost.
Take effing action. Put it together. And subscribe to Tom Penn's channel on YouTube now. Yeah, I like it. It's crazy.
Today, in Tom's storytelling time, I'm going to tell you a story about Buddha and how he got lost in the forest. You see, Buddha and his disciple, Ananda, they were traveling in India, seeking truth and understanding. And this time they were traveling in the forest to the next village. They don't exactly know how far is the village. They just know that it is quite a distance away. And Buddha and Ananda, they were traveling together and they ran into this old lady, planting vegetables by the side of the road. And Ananda turned to Buddha and Ananda said, I don't know how far the village is, but it's getting dark here now, right? So why don't we camp here? Why don't we just find a place in the trees and we can just rest there? And Buddha say, well, why don't we ask this old woman how far the village is? And Ananda is like, well, of course, you're the wise man. And Ananda said to the old lady, hey, old lady, do you know how far is the village from here? And the old lady turned to Ananda and said, it's not far. It's about 2 hours away. And the old lady smiled to the Buddha. And the Buddha smiled back. And Ananda and Buddha continued on because it's only about 2 hours away. They can make it to the village. So they walked and walked and walked. That must have been an hour or almost 2 hours. And then eventually they ran into this old man by the river. So the old man by the river was cleaning his boat, right? And Ananda is like, hey, I'm getting tired. Maybe we should just camp here and stay the night. And Buddha is like, hey, little grasshopper, don't be in such a rush. Why don't you ask this old man and see how far the village is? And Ananda is like, all right, you're the wise man. And Ananda went up to the old man and said, hey, old man, do you know how far is the village from here? And the old man said, hey, young man, don't worry. The village is not far from here. It's only about 2 hours away if you just walk in that direction. So Ananda and Buddha heard this, and Buddha smiled back to the old man smiled back at Buddha, and they continued to walk in that direction, right? And they walked and walked. It must have been another hour or almost 2 hours. They run into a couple. So the couple was, doing Pilates. They were doing Pilates by the side of the road, right? I don't know. At this point, Ananda is really tired. Ananda turned to Buddha and said, hey, Buddha, maybe we should just rest here. It's been a while. It's really getting dark. So maybe we should just rest here. And Buddha said, why don't we ask this fine couple here, how far is the village, right? And Ananda said, well, okay, you're the wise man. And then Ananda asked the couple, hey, couple, do you know how far is the village? And the couple turned to Ananda and said, oh yeah, it's not far away. It's only about 2 hours in that direction, right? And at this point, Ananda turned to Buddha and said, dude, that old woman said 2 hours, that old man said 2 hours, and these couples said 2 hours. What the hell is going on? They're lying to us. And Buddha just smiled. Oh, you young little grasshopper, if the old man did not say 2 hours, if the old woman did not say 2 hours, would you have traveled all this distance? We are here because they told us it's not far away. It's within our reach. So we traveled, we made the distance. That's why we are here. And Ananda is like, oh, Jesus fucking Christ. So exactly how far is the village? And Buddha said, with a smile, it's only 2 hours away. So what is the moral of the story according to Tom? right? So when we have big dreams, big goals, and those goals need, hard work and long period of time to achieve, it can be very difficult to stay disciplined. It can be very difficult to stay on course, never give up, to get to where you want to be. And sometimes we need to appreciate the people that are around us, that are pushing us, that give us the encouragement, to give us that extra little push and to push us in the direction that we want to move. Because it's not easy to achieve big goals. And if we only consider how far the end goal is, probably we give up. Most of us probably would, right? But you just need to consider every incremental improvement, right? So instead of thinking about the really big goals 5 years down the line, I want you to think about what you need to do today, what you need to do tomorrow, what you need to do this week, right? Focus on the present. Take the fucking action. Do what you need to do now in order to get to the goal 5 years later, right? It's easy to think about what you want to happen in 5 years, but it's hard to do what you need to do today to make your dreams come true. And you have to do it every single day to make that happen. Don't be a fucktard and take fucking action.